Hello and welcome to the short Vort on Parshas Ki Seitzei. This week we have the famous Sorrer U'moreh, the wayward son. This is a situation that likely never happened, likely cannot happen. It has such unique conditions about this rebellious son who starts stealing from his parents in order to fund his appetite for vast amounts of meat and of alcoholic beverages, wine. And the Torah says in this circumstances, again under specific conditions, he could be chayav misa, he could be put to death by stoning. Why? The Gemara says in Sanhedrin, because we'd rather him die now in a pure zakai way rather than later on after he's gone and robbed from people and murdered people to feed his habits. Again, this is a very unique circumstance. But the question is, we have also a case of Yishmael and Sefer Bereshis. Avram's son was kicked out of the house and he was dying of thirst. And Hashem wanted to show him the well, to give him something to drink. And the angels said to Hashem, why would you want to save him? His descendants are going to make the Bnei Yisrael parched. They're not going to give them to drink. Why would you give him a well? So Hashem answered that I will judge him b'asher hu sham, where he is now. Right now he's a tzaddik. He hasn't sinned. And therefore, even though he'll sin, it'll happen later, then I'm not going to worry about it. It's what he's about now. So what is the difference, many people ask, between Yishmael, where we say judge him as he is now and not for future actions, and the Sorrer U'moreh, where we say that he's judged on his future actions. So R Chaim Kanievsky, Shlita, as is his way, succinctly says that there's a simple difference between the two. Yishmael did not yet sin. He was still righteous. There's no reason for him to be punished. However, the wayward son already started to sin. He started on this path of evil, so he has these actions. And that's why one is a b'asher sham, because he hasn't done anything, and one he's punished for the future because he's already started on that path. In Lev Eliyah, Lev Eliyah Lapian, who's a mashgiach, therefore he has a much bigger developed presentation that goes far broader than R Chaim Kanievsky, who was never paid for any position. He just learns all day long, and that's why he's the Sar HaTorah. So he adds on to this that Yishmael had this negative koach, potential to be cruel. As we know, that's the history of Yishmael and the Ishmaelites and his descendants. But Lamaisa, in actuality, it didn't come to fruition yet. As long as something is still only in potential, then you don't get punished on it. But once something such as this wayward son, he's already started disobeying his parents. He's already started stealing from them so he can fund his appetite. There he's already made a maisa, and therefore we could already judge him in the future. In addition, Lev Eliyah adds that because this wayward son started going in the wrong derech, it's harder to break that habit. It's harder to do teshuvah. Before you've done an action, it's much easier to go against even your inclination, even if you're inclined to be cruel like Yishmael. But until you do it, you can still break it. There are other reasons given to this question. The Chida gives several reasons. Other people give one other one that I'll mention is that by Yishmael, they were talking about his descendants were the ones who were going to try to prevent the Jews from having water to drink. But it wasn't he himself. So therefore, you don't get judged on your descendants, but it's b'asher hu sham, what you are yourself, not your descendants. By the Sorrer U'moreh, there he was already the one sinning. So we're talking about him, and therefore we could do the judgment, look into the future, what, based on these unique circumstances, he's going to end up falling, and he'd be chayav later to be put to death. So we do that now. Let us take a lesson from this. We're only about 3 weeks left before Rosh Hashanah. If we take the time now to improve ourselves, to do tshuva, we can purify ourselves so that when we're judged for the year and for our life on Rosh Hashanah, Hashem will judge us b'asher hu sham, where we are at that pure moment of Rosh Hashanah, where we've elevated ourselves, and not where chas v'shalom down the road we might yet again sin. Let us take advantage of this time, do tshuva, and we'll be judged b'asher hu sham and our exact how we are on Rosh Hashanah. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful week and a wonderful Shabbos.